Hello everybody, welcome to the tutorial of how to play I Took a Pill in Ibiza by Mike Posner featuring Seeb, the Seeb remix, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to get right down to business. If you want to check the link or the description of the video, you'll see that I've put timestamps for each section. So you can skip to those sections later if you want to practice. Also just a warning, it's kind of a hard song to play. And I'm sorry, but I just don't have time to do tabs right now. So this tutorial hopefully will help. A lot of it is going to be, I could be here for like 2 hours explaining the specifics of how to do stuff. But I think what's really going to help you guys here is I'm just going to play a lot of things slowly so you get a feel for what's going on. And if there's something super tricky, I'll describe what's going on. So we're going to go section by section here. And then when we get to the end, we get to the end. So first things first, we have the capo on the 3rd fret. And finally, I'm doing one in regular tuning here, so we have our strings not tuned down or anything, and we're good at the 3rd fret. So the intro is nice because it shows us also what chords we're working with here. So the first chord we have is E minor, and I add a 7th into it by putting my pinky on the 3rd fret of the B string. So it looks like this. Now when I strum it, the first thing I do is I take my thumb and I go, and actually stop before I hit the 1st string. So then I'm going to take these 3 fingers and play strings 4, 3, and 2. So it looks like this. Next chord is a D chord, but it's actually the shape of a C chord. So if you know how to play C, it looks like this. Just slide it up 2 frets, and you have a nice D chord with some suspensions in there. And again, we're going to stop with our thumb before we hit the 1st string. And because the D chord doesn't have this string involved, we're not going to play that. So I strum from here and stop there. And then we do the same thing with the fingers. Next chord is a C sus. So we're actually just going to put 2 fingers down. I use these 2. You can use whatever fingers you want, really. I put my 3rd finger on C right here. It's not really C with the capo, but we're going to call it C. And then I'm going to take my pinky and put it on D, which is the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So both 3rd fret, one on the 5th string, one on the 2nd string. Again, we strum from 5 to 2 here, and we stop. And we do the same thing with index, middle, and ring, or IMA. Then to go to the G chord, I just hop my 3rd finger here, and I don't play anything else. I block. I let it be a little lazy. Normally fingers should be on the tips, but I let it be lazy, and I just kind of block back, block the 5th string so it's not being played. And then I go, and then instead of hitting it one last time, we switch to this is a D with an F sharp in the bass. If you don't know D/F sharp, you can always look it up online. So the intro sounds like this. I'm going to play it slow for you. D chord, some suspension. Here comes the C sus. And we just hop that 3rd finger for a G. We finish out with a D over F sharp. And then we repeat that. And we stop. Now we get into the verse. So I decided to take some ideas from what Mike Posner did in his original, which is, I call these double stops, where you're playing 2 strings at once. So the melody is, but to make it sound a little more interesting, we're going to add this note over the top. So I take these 2 fingers, and I'm just kind of going bump, 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 bump. Looks like this. So again, the melody, we're on the 3rd string. It's just, and that's a hammer with hammer-ons and pull-offs. 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 0. And then if you add this D note, or the 3rd fret, 2nd string. So that's kind of our melody part. Then we add the chord. So it's going to be, that's our same chord as the very beginning, that E minor 7. And then the picking or strum pattern is thumb, index, then middle and ring, then slap, and then play it again. So that's thumb, index, middle ring together, slap, play. So, all together. Then we almost did the same thing. Now we have a D in the bass, which is a 4th string. So what I'm doing there is I go, and then I hammer on, right there. Then bass, middle and index, and hammer. In slow motion, that's. Let me do those two parts together. Okay, this next part is really tricky. So my advice is just kind of follow the general idea here, and if you get it, you get it. Or you can spend a lot of time following it in slow motion because I'll play it slow for you. So we have. This is just kind of a weird way to get the melody. I use a little trick, so I'll try to explain this. So we go to our C sus, and I'm using these 2 fingers as our main chord, and then these 2 fingers, 1 and 4, are kind of doing the hammering. So what we do here is we go. And the bass is always going 1 and slap, 1 and slap, 1 and slap. So it looks like this in slow motion. 1 and slap. Now, with the slap, there's going to be a flick too, and that's how we get the next note. So 1 and flick. See that? That looks like this. Slap here and a flick here. It's actually pretty hard to do, so that's why I say just do the best you can. If you hit a bunch of strings, you hit them. And then your finger here goes and pulls off of the 3rd string. So. And then this is the next trick. I play strings 5 and 3 together, and then I hammer the 4th string without even plucking it. And that's how I get the note. So, see that? And that gives the impression that I'm playing the melody, but I don't have to move my fingers all over the place. So it's like. And there's the same thing, bass, slap, flick. So then we hop this finger down to G, and we go with strings 6 and 4 now, and we do the invisible or the unplucked hammer on the 5th string. It's the same type of thing. Now I realize this is super confusing if you've never heard of it before, so just maybe watch this a bunch of times in slow motion. That's the best advice I can give you without being here for like 45 minutes. So. Again, now you can see my right hand this angle a little bit better. As you can see, I'm a little sloppy with it. I play a little bit different every time just because a lot of times I'm kind of winging it when I play things. A little bit faster for you, straight on angle. Then you just repeat the verse over again. Okay, then we have, I guess we call it the pre-chorus. So we do the same thing we start out, as with the 2 fingers plucking. And now we move to our E minor 7. And we do bass, index, ring and middle together. And then this time we're actually just going to do a full strum. I take my index and I just go. So. Or you can do an upstroke too. Then we bring it up. This is the same as the beginning of the verse. And then we go. This is a D chord, but it's a little bit differently shaped than normal. We have our pinky on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th fret of the 5th string. And we have our ring finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string. First finger on the G string 2nd fret, and second finger on the B string 3rd fret. And if you can, block that first string so it doesn't come out. That's the chord. I'm getting a rattle right now on my guitar, but there we go. So if we do that in slow-mo, honestly, that's a really hard switch. Do it again in slow motion. Okay, then we always keep this finger on the D note up here, or the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, because that's kind of our note that hangs over with all the other melody stuff. Then we move to our C sus chord, and I just go thumb, index, middle, slap. So what I recommend here, I'll play the melody for you, and then we'll see if we can analyze how to factor this in with the slapping. So and this is all a pull off here. Pluck once and then. So with the C chord, it's thumb, index, middle, slap. There's a little slap flick, and then. And when you hit this 2nd fret of the lowest sounding string, or the 6th string, that's kind of the indicator to start you through that same process again. So then we go E minor 7, strum. Here comes the weird D chord with the strum. And then let me play those two ending parts of the pre-chorus for you in slow-mo, so this can help you out. One more time. This is the you don't ever want to be stuck out on that stage and be all alone, or something like that. Then the other one is stuck up on that stage singing, stuck up on that stage singing. And that's one more time since I messed that up. So as you're doing that, to get the groove, what I recommend is start with the chord. All I'm doing is thumb, index, middle, slap. P, M, I, slap. P, M, I, slap. And sometimes a slap flick if you want. So P, M. Once you get that, you can try to add that melody in. That's really the key to it there. Sorry I can't go into more detail, but it's just pretty complicated. Okay, then we have the chorus. Yeah, the chorus. And that's just all arpeggios over here. So we go to our first chord, and it's. So what I'm doing is make sure I hit the melody note really hard. That's the 3rd string open right there. And then try to avoid it to let it ring through. So I go, I do thumb and middle finger to play that. And then 4th string, 2nd string, 4th string, 5th string. And in slow motion, it looks like that. Watch my right hand for this one. That's A, M, I, A, M, I. That's how we do the arpeggio. Again. Then we have a second to play the melody, which is one more time. I'm hitting the second string open, then the third string second fret, then pulling off and coming back onto the second fret. Then we move to the same D chord here with all the fingers down, and then I lift this off to give it the sus feel. Same fingerpick pattern over here. So in slow motion. Now from straight on. And our next part, open second string, third string second fret, open third string. And then we move to our C sus. Look at the right hand now. It's always P, I, A, M, I, A, M, I. Or thumb, index ring, middle index ring, middle index. And then that's the next melody, all in the third string. And we move to our G chord. Then a D over F sharp. So let me play that whole chorus for you in slow motion. One more time. Now you get an angle with the right hand. On this one, we go P, I, M, A, slap. And we're ready for the beat drop. So, beat drop goes like this. We have our E minor chord, but now we're throwing our third finger on the G string second fret. Like that. So it's a E minor sus. So we're going to go all four fingers on strings 6, 5, 4, 3 and play them all together. And then we hit the bass again, so that's the first part. Then we do a slap and flick. And we end up hitting the second string twice there. So third string, and then second string with a flick, and second string with a pluck. Third, second, always hitting the bass in between. Third, second. Then we go to our regular old E minor 7. So that's dun 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 da da, which sounds like this in slow motion. A better angle of the right hand. Do it even slower. Then we move to our D chord, which is just really simple. It's just putting one finger down and hitting fourth string and third string. It's the same pattern. Two fingers together, we hit the third string again, and then we go back to the bass. Then a flick, flicking of the second string. So, from this angle. And then we have the ba-da-da-da, and that's open first string, third fret, fifth fret, and slide it up 2 more frets. So, and I'm adding the bass note. The bass note's always going bass, bass slap, 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 bass, bass slap. So when we want to hit these guys, it's finger, finger, bass, and then this is a slap flick. It's okay if you hit a couple other strings, no big deal. Okay, then let's see. So we have our C chord, but I'm really just worried about the bass note. And then I hit the melody up here. But all the while with the C in the bass. And we're doing the same thing here where we play the melody, and then we keep going bass, bass slap. So it sounds like this in slow-mo. Better angle of the right hand. Then we move to our G chord, which is really just a G in the bass. And I just kind of made my own melody here that's not quite like the real melody, but it works better on the guitar, which sometimes you have to do when you make an arrangement. Second string, the first part is like this. That's second string, third string, second fret, then pull off, then bring it back. Then the next part is, which is just second fret on the G string, pull it off, and then play the D string or the fourth string, and then back up to the third string. And your bass notes go here, bass, bass, slap, bass, bass, slap. So, sometimes I'll change up the rhythm with the bass just to make it interesting, but do whatever fits in with your rhythm. And I would maybe keep it consistent if you're having a hard time. So let me do that whole beat drop for you. It's in slow-mo, and then I'll show you the finger roll at the end, and then we're done. So we have. One more time with a better angle of the right hand. Okay, so some of the times in the chorus, the second time through, instead of going, I go like this. So what's going on there is we have our, and I'm going P-I-M-A, and I'm rolling my fingers. So I plant all of them at the same time, and then release them one by one. Then I hammer onto here to give it an extra note, so it's 5 notes in a row. So you go, and then, to add even another one, we do the slap and the flick to hit this fret. So, and then we finish out over here. Let me show you what's going on with this hand now. One more time. Okay, so the chorus, play the whole thing slow for you. Sounds like this. Alright, hope that helps. I apologize that the sound quality is not very good. I apologize that I don't do tabs. It just takes me a lot of time and I suck at it. But I do think if you watch this video enough, it should help. And let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to see from my tutorials, because I'm hoping to do more in the future. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I hope that helps you learn how to play my version of Took a Pill in Ibiza.